Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to this Camunda tutorial, and in the previous couple of videos we have already seen how to work with Camunda, how to deploy the diagram using Camunda modeler, right? We were writing a diagram here, we were creating a diagram, and then like create a BPMN diagram, we were creating a basic simple diagrams, and we were actually deploying these diagrams to to our BPMN. So there is a Camunda engine already running. So what we are doing is, let's say this is a test task, and we were able to deploy this to our Camunda engine. What we were doing is just let's save it on the desktop, test.bpmn, and we were deploying it. So this is where my Camunda engine is running, and I was deploying it in deployment field. Yes, expression is mandatory. So what we will do is, let's say we are saying this is an external, and we will put a topic name, test, save it, and then deploy it again. Deployment succeeded. Okay, so we have seen the couple of examples how these external tasks, service task, call activity. Now what we are going to do is, let's talk about all these possible options that you can create: a receive task, send task, user task, business rule task, DMN tables, call activity, or sub process, right? You can also create a sub process here. You can actually navigate, you can actually segregate the responsibility to another BPMN. Let's say here you have a service task, and after this what do you have is you wanted to have a call activity, and this is done. So here you can change it to a sub process, call activity, or let's say sub process. So this is your sub process, and now this sub process you will be defining. So after doing this service task, it will be navigating to the sub process. Sub process can be another BPMN having all the different steps. So this is to reduce the complexity, because you can't write everything inside a single BPMN, single workflow. Similarly, you can create a call activity, you can create a sub process, all these things. You can also execute, let's say I'm doing it as a call activity, and here I can decide is this is going to be the parallel or it is going to be the sequential execution. Okay, and we are able to deploy these things. Now what we are going to see is we are going to look at the BPMN elements, because those are important to understand, because these are the activities we are using in the BPMN, like task, sub process, call activity, uh, and we can see this particular table which talks about things in the detail. We might have used a lot of these, like message start event, message end event, timer. Timer is something you wanted to execute iteratively, like you wanted to send a notifications in every 5 minutes until unless that process has executed, right? So we can talk about this timer thing here. Instead of doing this, you can start a timer start event, right? So this timer event will, you will put a timer retry time cycle. You will be configuring it as a 5 minute, 10 minute. So in every 5 minute it will execute this whole cycle automatically, right? So these are timer events. You can change it to the other events like start event, which is by default, but you can do a message start event, signal start event, and the timer events which we already have. Now let's see all these things. So let's go. This is the message event, message start, message end event. Then timer events, we have lot of timer events, conditionals, and then we have like multiple parallels. And the important thing is these gateways, because we will not be using all these BPMN symbols in our BPMN workflow, but most commonly used, I will say, the message start event, message end event, start event, end event, and then you have these gateways. Where are these? So gateways where you can put a condition, okay, go to this particular direction, go to this particular direction. And you have parallel gateways. So if we just talk about these things, I will go to the simple ones first. The task, right? So task we can define as a service task. Service tasks are those done by external software. Okay, these will be done by business rules. So we define a business rules, based on this it is decided. This is a user task. So user has to manually go to the BPMN workflow and have to complete this task. These user tasks can be completed through an external call also, because this can be completed through external API call. Then loop, right? So let's say here you can do a timer event, and this timer event will execute this after a particular second. This is kind of a loop, right? You can say set timer, every 5 minutes it will execute. You can create a multiple instance like this. This is a parallel event and a sequential event. So after 5 minutes this will execute for 10 different iterations, right? This is a parallel, like choose pizza for different people in your house and then order pizza for one by one. It will create a multiple instance. Then compensations and how to reduce the complexity, you can create a sub process that is called call activity. So we can see these things. So here we are creating a sub process. This is a service task. The implementation can be external, Java class, expression. Most of the time we do it as a external, and we define the topic for it. This is sub process, can be asynchronous after, and you define the time durations and cycle for it. Okay, now let's say what all things we have here. Yeah, so the end events, these are called end events, these are called start event, these are called service task, task events. So these are the possible task events. Here we can have sub process, script, manual, user task and all. These are categorizations. This is a start event, this is the end event. The possible end events we can have: message end event, signal end event, termination end event and all. And if we look into the documentation, then there are many. You can actually create this sub process and can execute these sequence in parallel and in a sequentially. Here you can also add these gateways. So if we just take a look what all different type of gateway we have, and if you click onto this, and here you see parallel gateway, inclusive, complex and event based gateway. Most of the time we just execute this default gateway. What it does is it will execute these based on the conditionals. Okay, you can put a condition as an expression, it will execute this based on this expression. Okay, and here you can attach another process which can be your service task, and that will be completed like this. Okay, here this can be changed to a parallel gateway. Here you can make it parallel gateway. What does this mean is these are executing parallelly, these are not conditionals. Okay, it is not asking you to pass the expression as a condition, you see, because this is the parallel gateway. Let me just delete this. So what it is saying is, here I can put a gateway and I can simply say that's the connector and closing event, and you can close it independently also. So here you can attach multiple parallel events. Like here I have one more. This can be my different kind of task. Let's say I'm adding a service task. So this is task 1, this is task 2. So these are happening in the parallel sequence. There can be another thing, like you can add a gateway here, and then it will decide based on the expression here. Okay, this I'm going to execute based on this expression, otherwise I will go and execute something else. Let me stretch it down. Okay, here you can see. So these are expression based. That means based on a particular conditional expression, this will execute. Okay, let's say what we are saying is there is a test variable. If test equal to hello, then it will execute this sequence. Otherwise, this will execute hello 1. This can be your any kind of event, service task, business task, and all. Can be a call activity, can be a sub process. So these are independent. Here it will decide, okay, where in which direction we are going based on the expression value, and then it will execute these parallelly, and then it will finish up these events. So these are parallel, these two are sequential. This is exclusive OR, and this is the default gateway, and this is a parallel gateway. Similarly, you have exclusive gateway, event based gateway, complex gateway, and all. So all these things we can understand from the documentation, what all these things are: call activity, ad hoc. I mean, if we talk about the BPMN 2.0, there are many. Even I'm not also familiar with each and everything. Here you can see this is the default. This is the default gateway. So based on the condition, it is going to execute it, right? Choose recipe. You want to eat pasta or you wanted to eat a different dish, and then based on it will do this. But sometimes you want, like there is an example, I think here, prepared salad. No matter what you are eating, prepared salad is something which you are going to eat by default. So what we can do to optimize it, we can put this prepared salad in the parallel, and then this is in the default gateway. So prepared salad, no matter what you are eating, salad will always be there. So put it in the parallel format, and then you decide, okay, you wanted to eat this or that, right? So in that case, you actually optimize this whole flow, and it is now being done in the less duration. Here it was taking, like, let's say 3 plus 10 13 plus 15 plus 10, these many duration. Here, after putting this eat salad or prepare salad task in the parallel, it is now being done, I mean, the less duration, because we have introduced the parallel gateway, right? So this is how we can improve our things. Then there are inclusive gateways and all, so that we can take a look. Okay, now next thing what we are planning to do, I mean, we can use these fancy gateways, add the additional complexity, we can use the timer events and all. Okay, now what we are going to achieve with the whole things, we can easily deploy these things. We have already discussed about the message start and message end event, like from one particular BPM and how we are executing the multiple based on the conditions. So that's it. Let's talk a little bit more about the BPMNs and how we can deploy them and how we can actually use these with the microservices. That is very important topic. I mean, creating these BPMNs, there are already a lot of BPMN tools. Camunda is something which is open source and very much popular in the microservices world. But BPMN are not something which are new. But Camunda is something with something different, and it is open source and has a lot of things to give when you are writing the architecture with a lot of microservices and all.